An S63 AMG twin turbo V8, 4.6 to 60. Could this repossessed auction car be your next ride? Maybe, but that's not why we're here on a Sunday. Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. It's the Sunday Rant, and we're not talking about S63s, we're talking about Covenant Logistics. So Covenant wants an exemption from the rule that says, hey, until somebody gets their license, there needs to be a licensed person in the seat next to them. This is for people that have passed their skills test but have not yet received their license from the state. And they said this affects 2,000 drivers. And I thought, how many trucks does Covenant have? Do they have 40,000 trucks? No. According to them, they have over 2,700 trucks. So, has every one of their trucks just got somebody in it? Or do most of their trucks just have somebody that is just learning how to drive, that just got their license? Is the whole fleet simply a few trainers and then everybody else is just working towards getting their license? And I get that people have to get their license. And other companies get this exemption, CRST and Wilson Logistics. They all get this because they can't get any experienced drivers to come and work there. What, Mark? Yeah, that's my opinion of it. If they were only getting experienced drivers, they wouldn't have this issue. But they have to go cry to the government, like these other, lower end companies, let's say, to complain and say, well, we have all these new people and, they're losing out on employment opportunities. That's what the company says. Well, the thing is, rather than crying to the government, remember the company could do something themselves. Okay, that's always the case. They don't want to. They could continue to employ the driver that way. They could continue to pay the driver. That's right. They could do that. But they want the government to do stuff. That's always the case, isn't it? That's always the case with drivers and with the company. They don't want the government interfering in anything until they do. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we could have the government do something about this. No, until you get your license, all right, somebody needs to be in the passenger seat. And from talking to students and new drivers over the years, it is not always the case, okay, not just here, but at many companies. The person that's supposed to be in the passenger seat, boom, as soon as you get in, they hop in the sleeper and you're driving. And maybe they log it differently, but that is not always the case that they're up there all the time. That's for sure. That's the truth of being on the road, certainly. Remember, as I tell these new people, you do not ever have to do this. You don't have to go to these places. You don't have to sleep in a truck. Right, we take students. I know a lot of local companies that take students. They will never sleep in the truck. They go home every day, make it just as much or more than, certainly more than somebody just starting out at a place like, CRST or these other places that start out. So that kind of thing, just not true. Those are the ones that come into the truck school and buy pizza and then go to the government and gripe about regulations. Oh my gosh, people have to have a license before they're allowed to drive. Oh, well, we need to go gripe to the government about this. Yeah, wonderful. Reducing the requirements does not improve safety in any way. Reducing requirements doesn't improve safety for Covenant or for anyone else. We should always try to increase the requirements, make it harder to get a license, because then less people will do it. Only the better people will stay, and of course pay increases the same way. But to reduce the requirements, just let the person sleep. And I don't know what the requirements are there for trainers. It doesn't say anywhere on their site really that I could find. So I don't know if the trainers are highly experienced or middle. And when you ask a company what is highly experienced, some of them will say, 4 weeks. So we don't exactly know that. But I know this. They should not go gripe to the government. They could solve this themselves. They could. Now, would it cost them money? Yes, it would cost. If they paid somebody for a couple of weeks, oh my gosh, heaven forbid they do that, that would cost them money, because they said sometimes, this is what they said, it may take the state weeks to update someone's CDL and they're losing employment opportunities. Well, they don't have to, right? They don't have to lose an employment opportunity. You could continue to employ them by paying them. That could happen. See, the private sector could solve this. They just don't want to because of costs. So they don't want anything to cost them. if they want it to cost somebody else. I'm, of course, not for reducing requirements, so I'm out of that. And I'm not for companies going griping at the government. Solve this problem yourself. Become a decent company, and you won't have to only hire 2,000 students a year. If you have 2,600 trucks and need this 2,000 students, how many experienced drivers are you getting? Very few. Okay? When you talk to somebody that's got, say, 25 years experience, are they saying, well, I can't decide between Cirrus T and Covenant. I just get to... No, of course not. They're at a decent place by then because they've stayed in the industry, so they know the story. They just are only getting students, and this is what they're trying to do. I'm not a fan. I'm going back to my S63. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon with another Trucking Answers.